Hey, Joellen, what are we about to do today?
We are going to divide a daylily today.
Okay.
And can you believe this is the landscape that we planted 5 years ago?
It's been 5 years.
It's been
How about
5
that?
years. And you know, it was a really poor site. It holds a lot of water. And this particular daylily, a lot of daylilies can stand both dry and wet conditions.
Good.
And this is a wet condition, and this happens to be the Stella d'Ora daylily. It's a smaller daylily. And it has grown, and this one has gotten large enough that we want to divide it. So we're going to do that today, and the techniques that we're going to show you today are the same for any perennials that you want to divide.
Okay. Okay.
You can use these same techniques wherever you do. And this is spring, and we've decided to divide it in the spring. Spring is a good time to divide.
All right.
Also, late fall. Fall is a good time to divide perennials.
All right.
But spring is another good time, and that's why we're doing that now.
All
And what I'm gonna give you this shovel,
I'll take that.
and we've got this nice mulch here. I'm gonna take my digging fork and I'm going to scrape away the mulch so we can try to save it and put it back.
Okay.
We've got earthworms already.
Oh, we sure do. That's good. So as you're doing that, Joellen, what do you think about the performance of the other plants that we have in this area? Since it's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years. You know, everything is doing well, and even the canna is doing excellent.
Yeah, they look good.
The one plant that supposedly liked a wet, soil area that has not done well, in fact, they've all disappeared, even after we replanted them, were the plumbagos.
Plumbago, that's right. I remember that.
That's the only thing this is
do remember
missing, but it did not like this condition. I guess it was just too wet for it.
All right. But daylilies did.
Daylilies did great. Now what you're going to do is we're going to stay away from it just a bit, but get close enough.
Okay.
And you're going to
Let's get close enough.
dig down.
All right.
And go all the way around the plant.
All right. And there may be some tree roots here from this sweet
Oh,
bay.
you know what? That's true. A little bit further in, next to the plant.
All right. So what do you think?
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
See if it will come up out of the ground.
There it goes.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
There, it came up out of the ground. And you notice that we didn't get 100% of all the roots.
But look at those roots, though.
We got a good amount of them.
Sure did.
This front part here, there's not too many, a lot of dirt. So we'll get rid of that. And there's a root of the magnolia.
Yeah.
We don't need that. Now you can do several things with this. We have a lot of roots here, and so we've got a lot of starts. Every time you see one of these stalks coming up out of the ground, we could divide it enough that each one of these we could plant somewhere. But we don't want to disturb the root system that much.
Okay.
And we only want it to be in half. So we're going to divide it in half today. Could divide it more. And I like to use a digging fork for this because you disturb the roots less.
Got it.
You could use a shovel.
Sure.
Shovel is okay, but you'll cut more roots that way. The digging fork
Makes sense.
takes less roots with it. And I like to kind of help myself by figuring out where half is for this plant. Then I like
Looks
to
like
put
half.
this down.
Okay. Is it coming apart? Yeah, there it goes.
And then they come apart.
Yeah, there it goes.
And we disturbed a lot less roots that way.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't get all of them. I mean, this one We cut that one out of the whole thing. I think we did really good.
Great job by you. How about
I think we did really good. So what we'll do is we'll plant half of this back in this hole, and then we'll transplant this somewhere else. Now you could divide it again if you wanted to, but we don't want to make them that small because we're trying to mimic what's already planted here. So this is where this came from. Make sure you get the soil levels correct.
All right, well, don't want it too deep, right?
Don't want it too deep.
You got it? Okay.
You put your soil back in it. Make sure we get it all buried in.
That's good.
And that looks good.
That's good.
It's where it was. So now we'll take the mulch and put it back around the plant. And there we go.
Okay.
It's been transplanted.
Wow, like nobody's ever been there.
Like no one's been there. Yes, that's exactly how it should be.
Goes.
And now we have another one to plant somewhere else.
Okay.
And there is a bare spot over in front of that spirea.
All right.
So I think we will plant it there. Again, we have this nice mulch. So we want to make sure we move the mulch out of the way.
Okay.
There. And since I have the digging fork, we'll see about
is it hard?
roots.
Ah, it's the tree roots.
Tree roots.
From the sweet bay. And worms.
And worms, which is good.
Oh, yeah.
Nice roots in here.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're going to have to see if you can dig a hole big enough to plant this. You probably can get through the tree roots with that shovel. Yeah, just put the dirt right over here.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll just cut the roots. We can either cut them with the shovel if they're small enough, or we can get the pruners out and cut them. We'll get our transplant.
There it goes.
And make sure it is deep enough for it. Only have a few inches here. Want to make sure we have it the same level as the soil.
Ah, yeah.
So since we do, then we will
I think that works.
fill the dirt in around it. All right, I think we've covered up all the roots.
Yeah, looks good.
And we need to put our mulch back over this area. And again, it looks like we were never here,
Never.
which is the way I like things to look.
Okay.
Now, we could have just, instead of using the pruning fork, because a lot of times people don't have the digging forks,
Okay.
so you could have just cut that in half with the shovel. Again, you probably would have, you know, disturbed more of the plants and cut some of them off, but that would have been okay, because there's plenty here.
Yeah.
But either way, it works. And now we have a whole new plant in a whole other place.
Now we know how to divide daylilies. How about that?
Daylilies?
And some of our other perennials, right?
And a lot of the other, same
deal.
principle.
Same principle applies. Good deal. Thank you much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please click the subscribe button below.